In 2025, I started something that would change my life. No, I didn't make a ton of money, I didn't quit my day job, I did get fired from my day job, but that's not the point. The point is I started a TikTok and it changed my life, and it can change yours too. At the beginning of 2025, I made a goal to get 1,000 subscribers. You can tell that I fell pretty short of that goal. So in 2025, about in June, I had that idea to do a silly challenge of writing one word for every follower every day, and I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was so funny because this challenge is by nature not sustainable. Most authors, even like full-time authors, will write about 1,000 to 3,000 words a day and then spend the other half of the day editing and the other half of the day researching. And some authors will write like 5,000 words a day, but those authors are typically people that self-publish and they need to publish content more quickly rather than quality. And so here's the first TikTok I made. This is day 1. Writing one word for every follower I have until I have written an entire book and published it. Today we have 1 follower, so we will write 1 word. I remember I was really proud of that. And I wasn't too worried about the challenge at the time, like if it exploded, because I already had like books written, and I was like, okay, I can always just default to changing the challenge to revealing 1 word. Day 2, I spent a lot of time on the editing, and this is kind of, day 2 is a huge learning lesson, and this is the part that changed my life with TikTok and stuff, and learning about posting short form. Is first off,
Day 2 of writing
I did this
one word
voiceover.
for every
I did time remapping.
follower I have. Today I have 3 followers, so
And then you can see like I did all these stickers and
write
effects.
3 more words of the book.
And then I did like a background removal plus a shadow on the words and the sound effects. And then the clock. I thought it was a great video.
Day
Like
2 of
videography wise, I was very happy with this. And this is where I learned my first lesson is if you're posting daily, especially if it's short form, have a set amount of time that you're going to spend every day. So for me, I think at this time I was like, okay, I'm just going to do an hour on posting every day. Now I do about 15 to 30 minutes, but back then I was like, okay, I'm not going to spend more than an hour on something that might only get 50 views, which is a terrible idea if you're doing long form. So you can see the next day, I was like, I'm just going to do as little effort as possible. I hand the phone to my wife and ask her to film. And
Day 3
I
of
get the
writing
most
1
views.
word for every
The audio is also messed up, so I just filmed audio over it. It was so bad, but
follower
like,
I have until I have a book that's published. Right now I have 9
I do
followers,
like the
so
B-roll
I will
shot right
write
here.
9 more words. And we finally have our first sentence. And I'll fix that typo. Day 3.
Yeah, and so at this point with the challenge, I was like, for the challenge, I'm just going to reveal the words from this book I have because I do so much writing every day that I'm meeting this goal really easily. And then once a week, I decided to review how the challenge was going. That didn't turn out so well. And you can see about day 5, 7, 8, 9, not 10. 10, I put more effort into it and it got less views. I'll show you what I did here. Day 10. I put that end of the song right here so that it would loop.
Writing 1 word for every follower I
Get rid of
have.
speed
Today
up.
I have 177 followers, so I will write 177 words.
And then
Day 10
I like how it
of writing
ends. Because the music continues. I was really proud of it, and I thought the coloring was really fun, like that pink tone. Yet these other videos, where I'm just like under a table, it's even longer if you think length had anything to do with it. And I realized that like just focusing on what I was saying, focusing on telling the story of what I'm doing rather than like focusing so much on the video really changed things. And you can see I got to this point where I could consistently get about like 1,000 views. And the reason that this changed my life is not because of the views. Even if every video only had 50 views, it was because like this is a great video to show why it changed my life right here.
Day 25 of writing one word for every follower I have in my local test published. Today I have 493 followers, so I'll write 493 words.
That was terrifying, by the way. I was picking up so much speed.
I don't know if it's depression or crumbling relations with family, but I've had a hard time getting out of bed lately and doing my goals. And for some reason, getting outside and longboarding was just a little push I needed to do something, and this was it.
Day 25.
It was that commitment to do something every day that might yield results. There's a couple points where I got a little obsessed with trying to make money from the challenge, and that was not healthy. What was healthy though was that like I am improving and posting daily, and then I stopped right here about somewhere in this range. I stopped posting daily. I think it was right here when I got pneumonia, and I'm a little sad that I stopped posting daily, but I'm also like happy that I didn't just give up on the challenge, because that can happen. This is when I got fired. This was 3 months into the challenge. So 3 months in the challenge, I had done 30 days. I was posting 5 days a week. And so that is a total of 5 times 6. That's a total of 6 weeks of posting. So a month and a half. I don't know. Well, was it a month and a half?
This is day 1.
I guess I started not in June. I started on the 8th month. And so when I lost my job, that's actually when my mental changed for the worst.
Lost my job, so here we go. Day 29. I should probably actually check what day it is. So it's day 29. I was correct on that, and I have 568 followers. And I'll write 560. Day 9. I may be on the way to do so. Oh, what is happening? I'm poised.
Losing my job was such a freak thing too. Like, it was so dumb. I lost my job because of like gossip and rumors, and my boss texted me basically saying don't come in on Tuesday, or that was the first day of the week, it was Tuesday to Saturday. It's like don't come in on Tuesday, without even like asking me what my side of the story was. And it was this whole dumb thing about like commission rates, and she thought I was like somehow altering the system, but she was just really bad at math. And I was like, look, if both people take 40% commission from the same cell, then they're taking 80% of the cell and only 20% goes to the store. And she thought I was making it so that the workers only made 20% instead of their 40%, but I'm like, if they're sharing the cell, you can't give them both 40%, because then that's not how much they're supposed to make. Like, they're getting a larger cell because they're sharing it, if that makes sense. And so they're making about the same amount of money. Anyways, she just didn't give me a chance to explain that. I only had done it once or twice. That's like what I was trained to do. And it was just this whole dumb situation. A lot of small companies are like that. Anyways, the reason I'm so glad I stuck with it, because I got a little burnt out on the challenge around, I got pneumonia. I hate that this is my most viewed video, because this is like one of the videos I put the least amount of effort into. Like, I look awful in this, and that's not always the case. I have some videos where I put more effort into them, and they did better. Like this one, I put a lot of effort into, and I'm very happy of.
Writing one word.
Look at the date. It was near Halloween. I had to. It was spooky season. I try to do something special on the 0 numbers if I can.
And with a combined total of 1,000.
Oh yeah, for a while I did YouTube followers because I was doing YouTube shorts, which ruined my channel.
No. All
Right here.
authors are evil. Yes, I make my characters suffer. I make them bleed. I make them cry.
Monologuing was so fun. And that's, I think this, so right here, turning point for the worst, because I was more focused on the success, the numbers, and making money. Right here was a turning point for the better, because I was more focused on having fun and making videos that I felt like would be funny to watch. And this is where it became about creativity for me. You can see right here, I saw like the book edit, or not book edit, the shrimp edit going on, and that's why I did this.
Do you think reading is dead?
I had so much fun making this.
Do you think reading is dead?
And I love that like throughout the video, the coloring has like a gradient and it gets more and more intense. It was so much fun. And so the reason this changed my life is I went from someone that was writing books and working on my self-actualization about 2 to 3 times a week to working on it daily. Even if I wasn't posting to TikTok, I still wanted to do the challenge and write. And there's been many times where I've done the challenge with writing. And so when the number got to like 1,300, it was getting to a point where I'm like, I don't know if I'm actually doing this challenge by revealing the words. And I think there was like 2 or 3 days where I just revealed the words from my book. And I wasn't sure if what I was doing was accurate to the challenge, if that makes sense. I also experimented with posting some like art projects I'm doing. This is such a work in progress. It's right over there. It's almost finished here. I can show you. There is the golem. He's still looking rough. And it just was, when I started doing it, I was like, it was hard because I was like, I think it was somewhere, I think day 49 was the day I started. The day 49, I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm doing this challenge for real anymore, and I want to do this for real. And that just made me feel, it was really discouraging at first because I couldn't do it every day anymore, at least at the beginning. I realized that sometimes I'd have to take 2 days to make the video if I want to be honest, and I was like, well, I can also make other content in between. That's adjacent. That was fun, and I'm glad I did that though, because when I got to the point where there was like 3 days where I wasn't sure if I actually met the challenge or not, I was like, okay, I want to do this for real. I'm going to start time-lapsing myself and actually counting what I did. And I think this is like around the last day of before maybe the bath was the last day before I got my new job, and then I now don't have that job anymore either. So what's the point of this? You can see you need 10,000 followers to make money off of TikTok. You might think, oh, 1,000 followers, this Amazon link to your book. Well, my book has only had 28 orders. I'll make a video on that soon. But the point isn't money. The point of why you should you should start a TikTok or a YouTube channel or whatever it is for the creativity. Like, it is fun to just put things out there in the world to make them exist. And filming it and documenting it is actually a lot of fun. I think I have the most fun watching my own content and rewatching it and learning and documenting what I did. And this year's content, I've probably posted almost as much as I did last year. And I have had a lot more fun posting. I have made some crazy stories. I posted on Reddit, and a post on Reddit I had 240,000 views, which was crazy. Like, it was crazy, but it didn't like affect things too much because that's not why I do things. I don't do content for the views, and I do it just for the fun of it. And I think that if you do it for the fun of it, you'll realize that you're not just like building a following, you're building yourself. And so that's why you should do things. Build yourself. Not to say that I wouldn't love it if you hit the subscribe button, but I would love it most if you had a good day and a fulfilling life. Bye.